Hi, my name is David Levine with Certified Computer Solutions. I'm going to talk today just a little bit about a typical small business computer network setup. And hopefully it'll give people who aren't familiar with the process or the infrastructure that might be needed some information so they can talk with a local consultant about their needs, or if you're looking to implement something on your own, at least you'll have some additional information to help you get started. When we talk to customers, we always talk about kind of a four-prong approach, or four key topics that we want to look at. We always talk about a good business class firewall, talk about a good antivirus solution, hopefully something that's managed centrally by a server, downloads are managed centrally. We talk about a good place to store your data, and then we talk about a good method for backing up your data. Those are kind of the fundamentals that we start with, and then on top of that we can generally build whatever functionality a small business needs. When we talk about firewalls, we always want to start off by saying, look, it's really probably worth it to go ahead and get a good business class firewall. You can buy a lot of off-the-shelf products. They range from D-Link, Netgear, Linksys, and then lots of other brands. Those things will all do some basic firewall functions. They're usually pretty simple to set up because they have a GUI interface. So, and then they might have a tool to help configure a network. We recommend going with something like a Cisco, SonicWall, or WatchGuard, and almost exclusively we recommend Cisco. It's hard to argue that Cisco is a security leader. The price point for their ASA 5505 firewall is very good for small businesses, starting at around $385. And we think it's a tremendous value, and it's one that's going to take a small business from infancy through adolescence and then maybe even into maturity, depending on the number of users, and we've had extremely good success with them and reliability. Next we talk about antivirus, and we recommend that you get a good business class antivirus solution. The clients operate a little bit differently than the consumer grade versions, sometimes a little bit more efficiently. I think you could find someone to argue one way or the other for each of the three major providers, and that would be Symantec, McAfee, and Trend Micro. In our opinion at least, we recommend both Symantec and Trend. I think, again, McAfee's got good products also. As long as the person who's installing it or the firm that you've hired to install it knows what they're doing with that product, you're probably okay. We like to centralize the downloads of the viruses to the server, let the server handle distributing those to the clients. This decreases the amount of bandwidth that you need to download updates on a regular basis. Gives someone who's managing your network the ability to pull the clients and figure out which computers might have current definitions, which might not. It's also a good way to just manage one license renewal per year without having multiple individual licenses to renew. And in the long run, it's even less expensive than the consumer versions to renew on an annual basis, and we think it does a better job. When it comes to the server and places to store data, we want to talk about the fact that having data on individual PCs is common and in some cases necessary. Generally, when we can centralize data on a device that's designed to hold data, we find that reliability, performance, and access to data is better. So we recommend implementing or using a small business server on which all of the users can store their data. With small business server, we get the ability to control network access, control who has the rights to different types of data, different folders, different shares, and we can say, okay, Bob has access to a home directory for Bob on the server that only he has access to, and maybe his manager or maybe the administrator as well. And then maybe Bob has access to accounting, and Bob might also play a role in sales. But Bob doesn't see anything to do with production. He can't get into those folders. He can't change anything that the production people look at on a daily basis. So it gives us the ability to control that access to data in a central location. It also gives us the ability to put the data on a server that's designed to hold data. And by that we mean hard drives that are configured so that if one should fail, maybe the server continues to run. Maybe the drives are configured for very high access rates so the data moves quickly if you're using a database, something of that nature. But at a minimum, we want to make sure that we're taking a look at what data is going to be stored and then come up with a decision about what type of hard drive configuration to put that on. Then we also talk about backup solutions. It's our opinion that the very best backup solution available today is an online backup solution. There are lots of different providers. When you look for online backup solution providers, we recommend you find someone who can back up all the types of data you've got, and that might be just the regular files you've got, Word, Excel, PowerPoint files, that sort of thing. If you're using Exchange Server that comes bundled with Small Business Server, you want to make sure you get an online backup provider that can handle the Exchange database, and that's key. You might also need an online backup provider that can back up a SQL database. You can always look at the costs, and we think there's lots of different cost options out there, price plans out there. I think it's important to be aware that you get what you pay for in some respects. It's important that your backup provider has a good backup plan also. If your system can fail, another system can certainly fail, so the backup provider needs to have contingency plans in place. So these are the things that we usually talk with small businesses about right out of the gate, and we kind of find out how much data we're talking about them storing, how people are going to access the data, be it over a VPN, terminal server, remote web workplace, if they're just going to be accessing Exchange data for Outlook, calendar, contacts, email, that sort of thing. Get a handle on that, and then try to help them make some decisions about what type of server would be appropriate, make a plan for implementing the needs that they've got, or implementing the solutions to meet those needs, and then kind of move forward. So if you're talking with a technology consultant, those are some of the things you might want to visit with them about. And if you'd like to give us a call, please feel free. You can reach us at www.ccsdenver.com or 303-795-2200, and we'll be happy to talk with you. We deal mostly with businesses in the Denver Front Range region. Thanks. Take care.